Hello everyone, this is Silver. Welcome for the next part of Final Fantasy XIII. Final Fantasy XIII-2. So it's been a while since the last time since Final Fantasy XIII. So this first episode will be only one thing. Beginner's Preview. It's basically a memento of the first game, which is crazy important. So we're gonna watch it, and then for the second episode we'll be able to actually play. Let's go.
Cocoon, a utopia in the sky. The populace live a life of ease under the protection of almost godlike beings known as the Foul Sea.
Remember the Foul Seas.
The lower world, Pulse, over which Cocoon floats, is believed to be a land both hostile and uninhabitable. One day, on Cocoon, a dangerous Pulse Foul Sea is uncovered in the seaside settlement of Bodum. The governing body, known as the Sanctum, announces that all residents of the town are now contaminated. The Purge is enacted, legislation that requires every citizen from the affected area to be forcibly relocated to Pulse.
So this is why the Purge happened in the first game. The inhabitants of Bodum were supposed to be what's the word? Contaminated by the Pulse Foul Sea. Except it's not. Except they weren't, okay? Am I clear? I don't know. I don't think so, but there's a lot more. Like 13 of them. Well, let's go!
The Purge has begun.
The Purge.
A band of young rebels emerges to oppose the army and its attempt to exile innocent civilians to Pulse. Moving through the midst of the confusion is Lightning, a soldier who fights against the Sanctum's forces,
Lightning.
along with Saz, a middle-aged man with his own purpose. She makes her way towards the structure where the Pulse Foul Sea was found. In that lower world vestige, her sister Sarah is being held prisoner. Others also converge on the same location. Snow, Sarah's fiancé, Hope, the teenager who watched his mother perish, and Vanille, a young girl of unknown origin. All those who would play a part in Cocoon's future are unknowingly drawn together.
Okay, so we have the big team here. Lightning, Saz, Snow, Vanille, Hope. And I really like Hope. I like Hope. So they all meet together by the force of fate somehow. And they accomplished some crazy stuff together. And I'm missing this music already. Okay, Chapter 2!
Foul Sea possess the power to transform humans into a cursed Lassie. Both Lightning and Snow have entered the vestige to rescue Sarah from just such a fate. As if guided by an unseen force, the would-be saviors arrive in the deepest part of the structure, along with Saz, Hope, and Vanille. There, the five discover a bewildered Sarah, only to witness her transformation into crystal. Lightning, driven by rage at losing her sister, hurls herself at the Pulse Foul Sea. She is joined in the battle by a determined Saz, who has his own reasons for wanting the Foul Sea destroyed.
It's very well resumed. So yeah, Sarah transformed into Crystal because she was an LC and she fulfilled her focus as a LC. Remember, LCs who fulfill their focus are transformed into crystals in the eternal life, and those who don't fulfill their focus are transformed into monsters called Seed. But I think they're going to talk about them. Chapter 3! Lake Brescia.
The battle with the Pulse entity changes the destiny of the five new companions forever. They have become Lassie, cursed servants of the Foul Sea. All Lassie are given a focus, Those who complete this focus
Yeah.
are turned into crystal.
They're talking
Those
about
who
it.
fail, however, are doomed to become mindless monsters. Their master is an enemy of Cocoon. Are they now fated to destroy their own home? As the others sink into depression, only Snow retains a positive outlook. He believes that Sarah's last wish, for them to protect Cocoon, is their true focus. Snow stays behind to protect her crystal, while Lightning and the rest attempt to break through the army's rapidly closing net.
Alright. It's pretty clear. It makes sense. That makes sense. How do I go up? I have no idea. Okay. By peaks.
Lightning and her companions, now enemies of the state, are pursued by Sanctum forces. The former soldier makes a decision. Rather than be hunted down, she vows to take the fight to Cocoon's capital and slay the fal'Cie in charge of the government. The young boy Hope, drawn by Lightning's strength, chooses to follow her. Saz and Vanille choose another route and flee through the Vile Peaks. Meanwhile, Snow is captured by an army unit under the guidance of a mysterious woman known as Fang. These soldiers are members of the Cavalry, a group that professes to be an ally of l'Cie.
Okay, so so there's a lot of names, a lot of things. Like there's the Cavalry, there's the fal'Cie, there's Pulse, there's Cocoon, there's the LC, there's the Seath, there's the Sanctum, there's Fang. So Fang was one of the playable character of the first game. 5. Emperor White Hood,
As part of their journey towards the capital and the Sanctum fal'Cie, Lightning and Hope enter the Gabra Whitewood. The Whitewood serves as an experimental facility for the army, but patrols here are few and infrequent. As they walk, Hope explains his reasons for being there. At Snow's urging, Hope's mother joined the battle at the Hanging Edge and was killed in the fighting. The grief-stricken youth had then chased Snow into the vestige. Lightning tries to counsel the young man, but Hope's desire to exact revenge on Snow burns brighter than ever.
Yep, that's what happened. And I love this music. Okay, chapter 6, suddenly, oh my gosh. Prepare for the music.
With no place else to go,
Yes, the
Saz
music.
and Vanille find themselves wandering the sunlit waterscape. Saz eventually spills his story to Vanille. He explains that he joined the fight for the sake of his son Dodge, who had been chosen as a l'Cie servant by a Sanctum fal'Cie. Saz thought that if he could defeat an enemy of Cocoon, he might release his son from his focus. After hearing his story, Vanille is consumed with guilt. Both she and Fang are pulse l'Cie and enemies of Cocoon. Their presence near the Sanctum fal'Cie is the reason Dodge was cursed in the first place. However, she cannot bring herself to tell Saz the truth.
Yep, so remember there's two types of fal'Cies. There's the Pulse fal'Cies and the Cocoon fal'Cies. And Fang and Vanille were Pulse fal'Cies, LCs. Oh gosh. They were, oh my gosh, it's singing. They were Pulse LCs, the enemy of Cocoon. And Dodge was Cocoon LC, and his focus was to find or to bring Sanctum, or at least the Cocoon people, to lead them to the Pulse LCs. So that was his focus. And Dodge was made of LC because of Vanille and Fang. So this is why Vanille is super guilty. Palum.
With the help of the cavalry, Fang searches for the other l'Cie. She has a debt to pay. Her lost memory and forgotten focus were the reason Sarah was cursed by the fal'Cie. the Grand Pulse native later encounters Lightning in the city of Palampolum and apologizes for Sarah's fate. Lightning's response is a blow to the jaw. Elsewhere, Hope finally gets up the courage to confront Snow. The teenager is consumed with his lust for revenge and attacks the Nora leader. Despite the boy's actions, Snow puts himself in danger, protecting Hope from an army airstrike. The four l'Cie later regroup at Hope's house and meet his father. They reconcile their differences and decide to work on finding a future rather than dwelling on the past.
So the Nora is the organization created by Snow and not Hope. Created by Snow, it's like a resistance against the Sanctum and more specifically against the Purge that happened in Bodom and other cities of Cocoon. So yep, Hope almost tried to kill Snow for what he didn't do. He didn't kill his mother, actually, but Hope thinks it's because of Snow, but actually it's not. It was more of an accident than something else. Anyway, Chapter 8, Nautilus.
In Nautilus, the city of dreams, Saz and Vanille's frantic flight from the Sanctum comes to an abrupt end. Dodge, now in the custody of the army, has used his l'Cie powers to track down his father. The boy turns to Crystal upon completing his focus to locate an enemy of Cocoon. A PSICOM officer appears before the unbelieving Saz and tells him the truth.
I forgot about the PSICOM.
Vanille is the reason his son was made into a l'Cie. Vanille admits her guilt. She offers no resistance when Saz raises his pistols to fire. But Saz realizes her death will change nothing and lets Vanille go. Such mercy is all he has left to give.
Chapter 9, Palamecia.
Lightning joins Snow, Hope, and Fang in an assault on the Sanctum flagship. The cavalry has lent them its aid in rescuing the captured Saz and Vanille. After a long search, Fang is finally reunited with Vanille. The six l'Cie then fight through the ship's defenses and come face to face with the Primarch, representative of the Sanctum. However, the truth that he reveals is beyond their wildest imagining. The Primarch, who they thought to be human, is actually a powerful fal'Cie by the name of Barthandelus. The fal'Cie also shocks them with the knowledge that their focus is, in fact, the destruction of Cocoon. Barthandelus guides the l'Cie to a vestige hidden beneath the capital, where other truths await them.
Alright, so Barthandelus is the fal'Cie, one of the fal'Cie of Cocoon, and they explain to Lightning and the others that their focus is to destroy Cocoon, to make the Maker, to make the Maker comes back on Cocoon. So the Maker is like God, basically. This is what the Maker is. It's God.
The companions encounter Cid Raines, the commander of the cavalry, in the bowels of the monster-infested 5th Ark. He explains that should they complete their focus and destroy Cocoon, then countless lives will be lost. This sacrifice is necessary to draw a deity known as the Maker back into the world.
This is what I said.
Raines then reveals himself as a l'Cie of Barthandelus. The soldiers of the cavalry had been mere puppets of the fal'Cie. Now, however, the commander is acting under his own human will. To prevent Cocoon's destruction, he attacks Lightning and her friends. Although he is ultimately defeated, Raines still turns to Crystal. He shows them how the fate of the l'Cie can be overcome.
Once again, very well. Chapter 11, Grand Pulse, we're almost there.
The six l'Cie have crashed on Grand Pulse, the terrifying lower world that the people of Cocoon speak of in whispers. Seeking for a way to overcome their cruel fate, the companions travel to Erba, Fang and Vanille's hometown. There, they uncover an ancient prophecy that tells how Fang and Vanille attacked Cocoon several centuries in the past. It also speaks of how they entered into crystal stasis and later awoke, once again driven to destroy the floating shell. All their actions recorded and prophesized, but no mention of how to avert the catastrophe. But if they refuse to fight, then Cocoon will fall. Readying themselves for the conflict to come, the l'Cie head for Cocoon's capital once more.
Alright, so yeah, there was a war between Cocoon and Pulse that made Cocoon exist, actually. I think, if I remember correctly, Cocoon was made by what's the name of this god? There were 3 gods, I think. There's Pulse, there's Lindsay, and there is another one, but I don't remember. Etro. Pulse, Lindsay, Etro are 3 gods made by the god of the god. That is a spoiler for now. I won't say it. We'll talk about it in Final Fantasy XIII-2, okay? Wait for it. So yeah, there are those 3 gods. Pulse made Pulse. Lindsay made Cocoon for humans to sneak away from the war or something like that. And there's Etro, and she's like the goddess of the dead. She's the goddess of the dead, and yeah, that's what she is. But I think we'll talk about it soon enough. Eden.
Chaos rules in the capital city of Eden. Reigns, though he wishes for the independence of mankind, is a helpless tool of the throught, and the soldiers of the cavalry who trusted him have now risen in revolt. They mean to slay Orphan, the throught that lies at the center of Eden, unaware that its death would mean the destruction of Cocoon. To prevent this cruel catastrophe, Lightning and her fellow l'Cie battle through the streets in pursuit of the vengeful soldiers. They finally catch up with the cavalry, only to see them transformed into hideous seeth. Only one thing remains to be done. The l'Cie must face Barthandelus, the mastermind behind all that has transpired.
Yep, so Barthandelus was the final boss, actually, of the first game. He was the final boss, mixed with someone else. I think they're going to talk about it right here, Orphan's Cradle.
Lightning and her companions claim victory over the mighty Barthandelus, but in doing so awaken Orphan, the throught who keeps Cocoon aloft. Their first battle with Orphan ends in failure, but through the sheer force of their belief, the 6 rise to fight again. They have the power to make miracles happen, and the strength to change their fate. Awakened to the power within them, the l'Cie achieve the impossible and defeat Orphan. At the moment of the throught's death, Cocoon begins to plummet towards Grand Pulse. Then a miracle occurs. Fang and Vanille undergo a transformation into a great crystal pillar that halts the fall of Cocoon. As the dust settles, Sarah is freed from her crystal stasis and greeted by Lightning's smiling face. Or so it was meant to be.
Or so it was meant to be, exactly, because this game is about this last sentence. What really happened? So, that was a little catching up with the first game, if I could say that. So, Lightning, Saz, Hope, Snow, Fang, Sarah are very important. Sarah is the playable character of this game. We're going to play as Sarah. There is going to be a trippy thing with time travel. And that's all. I played this game once, a little while ago. I remember some big plot of it, but I think I'm still going to be surprised by some stuff. I think. I remember the ending, of course. I remember the beginning, but middle part is kind of easy for me. But anyway, I'll see you next time for the first episode of gameplay. And if you want to discover the first game, Final Fantasy XIII, well, go watch it. There's a playlist. I'm gonna put it in the description or whatever. Go watch the first game, or at least the episode that looks important to you. And don't watch this before knowing anything about the first game, or you'll be completely lost, okay? Don't do this. Alright, so thank you for watching. You are ready to experience Final Fantasy XIII-2 with me? And also, I wanted to say, it's a bit late, I should have done that in the first part of the video. I wanted to thank you guys for the welcoming of my last video, that is, the Silver XX Simple and Clean. It's just, wow, the numbers of views are just, it's just insane. I never seen that on my channel. Like, more than 600 views. What happened, guys? Also, a lot of people that are watching are not subscribed, so you know what to do. You know what to do. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna record the first episode of this game, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.